Welcome to Got a Story, the space where we tell our stories unapologetically, unfiltered, and with all the realness. We laugh, we cry, but we keep it all the way honest. I'm your host, Passion Charday, and today we're going to dive into the topic of family loyalty, family instincts, and the unexpected moments that really put them to the test. Okay, so the reason why I want to talk about these topics, or the reason I have that topic is because a memory that popped up in my mind yesterday, after my shower. And I'm kind of liking where I am with that because I have these things that are apparently they're called evergreen episodes. And those are things I might be wrong. Look, I don't know anything about podcasting. So if I'm using any of these terms wrong, somebody just please let me know and educate me. Cause at the same time, I'm still writing my story. Like this is a part of my story, me learning, right? But anyway, I have these things that I think they're called evergreen episodes. And what I think an evergreen episode is something that is kind of pre-planned. It's something that I know I want to talk about. I've kind of did some research. I wrote down an outline. This is a pre-planned topic that I'm going to discuss. But now my mind is starting to like work on not on a different level, but I'm remembering things or I'm able to think about something and pull a story or something that I've been through. And then I just immediately want to come up and talk about it. So will this episode be dropped the next day? No, because today is December 30th and I'm supposed to be launching on the 1st. So in like 36 hours, I'll be launching. But this is just something that I really wanted to discuss. Anyway, so what I want to talk about or share with you all and hopefully, get some feedback and then we can continue to talk about things of this nature is it was a situation I was in about had to be the 7th or 8th grade. And I say that because we were still living on Travis Street and it's still the same place of the first story, that I led with where where we were all jumping the fence and Prince got his lips stuck up on the fence, right? So, um we're in that same house, right? And again, I had to be 7th, 8th grade. I was not in high school yet. But I'm going somewhere with my mom. Don't know where I'm going because that's irrelevant. It's not important to the story. But she leaves out before me, like maybe not even a couple minutes, maybe like 30, 45 seconds before. I don't know. Wasn't that long. I'm walking out immediately behind her. And for the life of me, I can't remember if my siblings were going with us. Don't know. Don't care at this point. But she goes out and I follow you maybe like 30, 45 seconds after. And I shit you not, when I come around this corner, my mother is fighting two women I have never seen before in my life. And I immediately, and I ain't no bigger than this, I'm tiny. I immediately just dart off. And at first I was just like in complete shock, like, what is going on? Because I'm telling you, like Nina is in there. She is working these motherfuckers. Like I ain't man, that yellow motherfucker back in the day could fight. Now she's fighting these women, and the whole time I'm thinking, now that I'm thinking back on it, dear Lord, don't pull her hair because she still has long hair, but she's fighting these two women, and I don't even think. And now that I'm older, this was stupid, but doesn't matter. I run over there and I just start swinging and I am going in. I am working somebody's mom. I don't know if anybody remembers if anybody remembers fighting my mother on Travis Street with you and your friend. Y'all jumped her. Just know that I still remember that. I whooped your ass. So this and I say that because no matter what I went through with my mom at that time, she was still my mom, right? So I'm not going to let anything happen to her. And so I am we're fighting these women and all of a sudden they stop and they go off and they take off like we won, right? I think. And so like I'm looking at my mom and she's looking at me and she's like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Are you okay?" And I look at her hands and hands are bleeding. And I look down and there are two screwdrivers on the ground. These, whoever these people were, whoever these women were, whoever these two random bitches were, they were random to me. She probably knows who they. I'm gonna probably call her later today. She'll talk to me, but I'm gonna ask her, and then maybe we can come back to it. But just know that I had no regard. I had no sense of like my own personal safety. And to look back on that now, and I was telling that story to my wife last night, and the simple fact that the two women showed up to my mom's house with screwdrivers to fight her. And now as I'm older, I'm like, what happened? Right? This what happened? This was like had to be 99, 2000. I don't know. But that would have made me about 13, somewhere between 13 and 15. So I think I was like 13. So this had to be like 98, 99, somewhere in there. Whatever. But what my thing now is like, what was going on that two women thought it would the best course of action was to come and jump this woman with screwdrivers, because at that point you're really, now I'm thinking about it, you're really trying to hurt her. Like, what was going on? I think it was over a dude. I really do. And that's the only thing I can think of, because at that point my mom wasn't really doing it wasn't nothing crazy yet. But I honestly think that is the only thing it could have been, was behind a dude. And that's very, I don't want to say Gen X. I don't know. Gen X, millennials, we got that. Because boomers, they just call them and have a conversation woman to woman, or the whole let them cheat in peace, whatever. But fast forward to about my sophomore year in high school, right? And I get home from basketball practice, and we are at this point, we're on Magnolia Street. And by this time, if there hasn't been any episodes about Magnolia Street, you'll see what happened on Magnolia Street, because there's some crazy stuff that happened there too. But fast forward to, we are now on Magnolia Street, and I come home from practice, and I don't know what happened. Promise and Prince got in trouble for something. We're always getting in trouble for something. That's just how childhood goes, I think. Our childhood went. But they did something. Don't know what they did. I don't remember what they did, and it really doesn't matter. The point of this is that she was spanking. Let me not lie. Okay, what people call spankings, that didn't exist. I don't what people what stuttering, because I'm trying to figure out a nice way to say this. There was no spanking back in the day. We were getting beat. The stuff that our parents were doing to us, they would go to jail for now. Like the shit that my mom did, I would be literally in prison for if I did that to my child. And that was normal. But I think we've just evolved as a society, and maybe as a community. We not effing our kids up like that no more. But anyway, I got to that point where really, like, enough was enough. And I don't know if I felt like the crime didn't fit the punishment. I don't know. I just know I felt like I was over it. It was overboard. What she did, I just wasn't gonna. That shit's just not gonna fly. So I jump up and I'm telling her, like, "Hey, that's enough. Get your hands off of them. Don't touch them." Right. And so me and her get the going, and we are in there working. We moving furniture. This is not no scene in a movie like on Eve's Bayou when she slap her and she no, it was not one of them situations. It was just like, you at this point are some random woman off the street, and we getting ready to tussle. So me and my mom, we are fighting. And my brothers are like, "No, stop, don't do it." And Precious, she's just back there on the couch just like this. I kind of think she was enjoying this at this point. But the only thing that stopped it was Promise and Prince jumped in and they were just like, stop. And they're crying more so because me and my mom are actually fighting. So after they break us up, my mom looks at me and I look at her and there's just dead silence. And she was just like, we not doing this. So she calls my father. And she's on the phone and she's like, you better come get her. You better come get her. I'm about to kill her. She done jumped on me. She done jumped on me. Now I've jumped on you. Now I'm the aggressor. So she talks to my dad. And I get on the phone with my dad. And my dad goes, what happened? What happened? And I told him, I basically told him, like, hey, Promise and Prince did something. It was just overboard. Like, she shouldn't have put her hands on him like that. That's what happened. And that was it was just like my dad was like, well, she says you got to come down here to live with me. Absolutely not. And not because I didn't want to go live with my dad. It was honestly would have been a better situation for me. But it was a simple fact that I'm not getting ready to leave them here with her. Like has never been on my list of things to do ever in my life, is to leave my siblings somewhere that I can't get to them, that I can't protect them. And my sophomore year in high school, so I'm like, what, 15? And so that would have made Promise 11, and that would have made Prince 9 going on 10. So, and then, Precious was 12 going on 13. I'm not getting ready to leave them. Right? Who is going to protect them? Who is going to walk down to four random boys' house because they done jumped my brother and whoop all that ass? Who's getting ready to do that? Who is going to be the person that they run up to and say, such and such just slapped your brother Prince? Now I got to fight at the homecoming game because some random freshman has decided to smack my brother who's in the fifth grade. Like, no, I'm not leaving them. So the reason why I'm telling both of those stories in tandem is because to me it's a complete 180, right? It to me, maybe it speaks to the complexity of the relationship with my mother and in the relationship with my brothers. It just, on one hand, and these might have been 2 or 3 years apart, like I'm literally risking my life, not knowing it, jumping in to assist my mother because at this point she's getting jumped by two women that I don't know. I'm not going to let that happen. But then if you fast forward, I'm still not going to let you get away with no bullshit. Like, you're not going to continue to punish my siblings this way. It's not going to fly anymore. And after that moment, um, me and my mom's relationship was a lot different. I mean, even down to how she spoke to me, just everything. And I don't. It wasn't a. Neither one of us are scared of each other. But it might have been more of a respect thing, and I just I know people have those instances where they not people as like in everyone, some people have had those instances where they've had, knockdown, drag out arguments with their parents, or, guys have like went to blows with their dad, or they went to blows with their siblings, or, girls, sometimes we go to blows with our mom. And the thing about that is, I think, like my brothers, they fought plenty of times. I mean, that's probably why they could fight so well. Um, Never no hard feelings. As they got older, they would never fight each other. But when they were little, oh, they was in there fucking each other up. But with my with my mom, it was a situation to where, okay, it happened and now maybe boundaries were set. And I think that was my way of setting a boundary, um, without even knowing that's what I was trying to do. But now as I'm actively talking through it, I think at that point I set a boundary and I let her know where I stood. Like, I love you to death. I will literally kill for you, but I'm not gonna allow this to happen. This is where I draw the line, um, especially with my siblings. And I actually asked my son. so so last night I'm thinking about all of this, and I told you I told my wife, and I asked my son. I said, "Hey, Ace, what would you do if I walked outside and you walked out behind me, and I was getting jumped by two women?" And and Ace was just like, "That's a stupid question." And I'm like, "No, no, no. What would you do?" He's like, "That's stupid. That would never happen." Ace, what would you do? And okay, it's stupid. Let me know what you would do. He goes, I guess I would help, I guess. You guess. I was like, you would hesitate to help me out? And he was like, well, that would never happen. And I'm like, okay, I understand that's something that would you don't think that would ever happen. But if it did, what do you think you would do? And he goes, well, I would help, I guess. And I was like, but why was your initial action like it just wouldn't happen? He was like, well, honestly, he's like, I think you would be okay. And I don't know why my son thinks I'm invincible, but the simple fact that he, I'm trying to figure out if he just doesn't think something like that would happen because he did give me um, kind of a compliment. I think he's like, you would never put yourself in a situation to where two people would want to jump you, which is true. And I guess I get where he's coming from because as I just said, like as I got older, I kind of started to think like what did my mother do? Or what was going on that these two random women decided to come to our home with screwdrivers and jump her? Um but yeah. So it kind of speaks to like the evolution of my family through one generation, right? Like my son never has to worry about something like that happen. What he is worried about is like me going off on somebody behind him, but that's that's to be expected, I would think. But I want to know, can we open it up for a discussion? What pushed you over the edge with a family member? Um was it, your parents towards your siblings? Was it a sibling towards one of your parents? You know what I mean? Because sometimes those things happen too, where you'll get that one sibling that I don't want to say they be like a problem child, but they are the ones that are gonna the one that would fight your parent or the one that would totally disrespect them. And now that I say that, and I say the one that fight, I did fight my mom, but it wasn't because I just wanted to fight her. I was just tired. I was tired of being scared. I was tired of seeing things I didn't agree with when it came to my siblings or with me. And I know a lot of that, um, as I've gotten older, a lot of that from my mom was just generational trauma, just how okay, how I feel like black people have dealt with their children generation after generation after generation to the point where like spankings are normal even though they're kind of like beatings. And now you have parents like me. I don't spank my I don't I think my son's gotten like 3 2 3. He's 17 now. I can recall 3 spankings, and 2 of them were because he lied to me. And it wasn't even really spankings. They were just like 2 of them is because he lied to me. Um, in the in the other, I forgot what he did. Um, but I say that because I found a different way of dealing with um, my son when he does something I don't agree with. And now that I'm talking out loud, that's probably I want to do like an episode on that. But what I want to open up again for the discussion is what was that time that you had those boundaries were tested with your family, that loyalty was tested, that instinct to protect kicked in, whether it was your mom, your grandma, your brother, your sister, your uncle. Like, when was that? And was it because you needed to set a boundary? Was it because that person couldn't defend themselves? Like, and how did you feel? Like, I never had a fear when I have jumped in for anything for my siblings that something was going to happen to me. It might have been because I didn't care as long as nothing happened to them. But as a child, you know, that bond that you have with your siblings, that you don't even know it yet, that you would literally die for them, and you don't you're not even thinking like that. But as you get older, or as I've gotten older, some situations that I have been in, or some things that have happened and I've had to react to, I would have died for them, and I wouldn't have, I'd been fine with it, right? So, and I don't know why that was important. I don't know why I want to get up here and talk about that, but I just want to know. I guess it's because like people are like always like, oh yeah, I fought my mom, and I'm like, why? And it will be some random reason. So that's a discussion I want to have. If anybody is willing to say why they fought their mom, or they went to blows with their dad, because sometimes you could be fighting your dad because he's putting his hands on your mom, right? And boundaries have to be set. And sometimes that shows that person that somebody's in my corner. Just like my mom knew that I was in her corner in my entire life. If my mom still gets into something to this day, and she is over the moon upset, and she's irrational, she is calling me. And I can hear on the other line telling them, Passion gonna kick your ass. I am like 400 miles away. You need to call the police. And I am not coming up there to get an assault charge for some stuff I don't even know, because I don't know what you did. Not saying it would be justified, but we don't want to keep getting into situations. But what I'm trying to say by that is that to this day, if something happens, my mother will call me. Um, and at the same time, even though I don't want to say no contact with my mother right now, I am minimal contact. If I am in the same space as her, I'm not going to let anything happen to her, right? Like, might not be on the best of terms, might not have the rosy, history, but I'm not going to let anything happen to her. But at the same time, I'm not going to let her get herself into something either. So there's that. And maybe that's why I'm telling this story, because it kind of speaks to that complexity of relationships, and how no matter what, you still have that loyalty, or that, is it loyalty? I guess it's love that you're still going to have for her. Well, I'm still going to have for her. And I've had a lot of people throughout my life. They will always say, I can't believe you still talk to your mom. Like, I can't believe they just can't believe there's still a relationship there. And what I want people to understand is, like, every relationship is different. How do I handle my mom is different. How I handle my brothers is different. My sisters, my brothers. It's just everybody's different. And no matter what, I still love my mom. Um, but at the same time, I have to keep my peace. So, and in order to keep my peace, boundaries have to be set. But even though those boundaries are set, I'm not going to let anything happen to her if I can prevent it. Like, if I'm there, your best bet is not to like try her physically. One, she's getting old, and I really wish she would act like she's getting old, but she ain't gonna let it go. She still thinks she's 30 years old. Um but yeah, I do I do want to kind of stop rambling, but um that that's just what I want to know. How's that family dynamic? Is it still the same? Or are you still rushing out the door to protect your brother, sister, or anything else like that? Or is it a situation to where you just kind of let your hands go and you let them handle things on their own? Or the discussion could be what what was that moment that you really had to step up and protect somebody, like literally unexpected? And as I'm talking now, I know there's a couple other incidences that I've had to protect my mom, and I'm going to talk about those because those shaped me forever. That mess, things with my mom or things that I've witnessed my mom go through have really shaped even the type of friend I am. And I have a not a negative view on relationships, but it doesn't take much for my antennas to go up for me to be cautious that something is going wrong, and it could be perfectly fine with that particular couple. If it just seems off to me, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna do some investigating. Um, but yeah, that was my rant for the day.